Hey guys, and welcome back. Well, he was the face that launched a million slow jams, the voice that made grown men cry in their cars at 2 a.m. in the morning. Remember that feeling? That raw, undeniable groove that just got you. Then, poof, he evaporated just like that. We're talking over a decade of radio silence. No tweets, no cryptic Instagram posts, no half-hearted Vegas residencies cobbled together for a quick buck. Just gone. 14 years of silence, a gaping hole in soul music landscape, and fans left wondering, where is D'Angelo? Then, on October 14th, 2025, the heartbreaking answer finally dropped. Pancreatic cancer had taken Michael Eugene Archer at just 51 years old. But here's the thing. The real story isn't just that tragic headline. Oh no. It's the slow motion unraveling that started the very night he shot that now infamous naked music video, and how the world, in its obsession with the visual, somehow forgot he was the genius who wrote the chords too. Now, this isn't just about a musician who died. It's about a visionary who wrestled with the very nature of his art and the public's perception of it for most of his life. Now, let's rewind a bit, shall we? Richmond, Virginia, 1991. Picture this, a 17-year-old preacher's kid stepped in the rich spiritual sounds of the Pentecostal church where his father pastored. That's right, Michael Eugene Archer, a self-taught multi-instrumental, slips past security at the legendary Apollo Amateur Night. He sits at a battered Rhodes electric piano, those warm analog tones filling the hollowed hall, and plays the prettiest, most intricate chords, changes Harlem has probably heard since a young Stevie Wonder was just knee-high. The crowd naturally loses its mind. This wasn't just talent. It was a revelation. He wasn't just playing. He was channeling something ancient and new all at once. By 1994, he's not just a prodigy. He's ghost writing a fundamental track. You will know, for a supergroup of 40 black men in all white suits, Black Men United. Y'all remember that? Yes. You will know. A year later, in 95, his debut album, Brown Sugar, goes platinum off a song he literally cut in his bedroom on a simple 4-track recorder. No gimmicks, no auto-tune, just butter-smooth falsetto, raw funk, and gospel-infused chords that bent R&B so hard critics had to scramble and invent a whole new term. And that term was neo-soul, just to adequately file it away. Now, D'Angelo didn't chase fame. He practically glided through walls like music, polite ghost, effortlessly collecting Grammy nominations and, perhaps more telling, side eyes from bewildered industry suits who just couldn't figure out why this quiet genius refused to smile on command or play the game their way. His influences, from Marvin Gaye's soulful introspection to Prince's boundless, were evident yet unique, his own, setting him apart from the pop R&B landscape of the time. Now, the curse of perfection. Then came 2000, and with it, Voodoo. This wasn't just an album, it was an experience. 79 minutes of pure, unadulterated, live band voodoo, meticulously recorded on 2-inch tape, sans click track, with vocals captured at 4 a.m. when the magic, as he felt it, was right. Now, Questlove, his legendary collaborator, famously called it the blackest album ever allowed on a major label. It was dense, complex, and utterly groundbreaking, pushing the boundaries of what R&B could be. And then the video. Oh, that video, untitled, How Does It Feel? One continuous, mesmerizing shot of glistering abs and sweat, the camera circling him like a lover who simply refuses to blink. Overnight, it wasn't the intricate rhythms of the gospel harmonies that everybody was talking about. Every dorm room wall had the same poster, and every single interview he did asked the same frankly thirsty question. So, how does it feel to be the sexiest man alive? D'Angelo, ever the gentleman, smiled tight, a practiced, almost pained expression. But inside, he panicked. The man who spent his childhood Sundays watching parishioners catch the Holy Ghost, moved by spirit and song, now watched strangers catch feelings about parts of him he never ever intended to offer. He confided in a friend, a heartbreaking admission. They're not clapping for the song anymore. They're clapping for the body. I'm just a jukebox with picks. That profound disconnect, that brutally irony of being celebrated for the wrong reason, cracked the very foundation of his artistic soul. It became a cage, beautifully wrought, but a cage nonetheless, trapping the musical genius behind a veil of physical allure he neither sought nor appreciated. Now, the wilderness. The next decade, it plays out like a slow-motion horror monologue, a stark contrast to the dazzling brilliance that preceded it. The creative well, once overflowing, seems to dried up, leaving him with writer's block, so thick he trashed entire albums, years of work, convinced they wasn't good enough. Now his weight ballooned past 300 pounds, a physical manifestation of his internal turmoil. Whiskey, a cruel mistress, replaced water, blurring the lies of day and night. Then came the public crash. A Jeep Cherokee wrapped around a fence post in 2005. A stark, undeniable sign that things were spiraling. Now, court-ordered rehab, which he walked out of not once but twice, underscored the depth of his struggle. Each year, fans desperate for new music tweeted #Where is D'Angelo, like a collective prayer, a digital plea echoing across the internet. But inside that profound silence, D'Angelo wasn't idle. He was woodshedding. He was building chord voicing, so complex only dogs could hear them, refusing to hand in songs until every snare ghosted just right, every bass line pulsed with perfect understanding funk. It was a relentless, almost torturous pursuit of artistic perfection, a silent battle against his own demons and the weight of expectation. Meanwhile, insidious and unseen, Pancreatic cancer crept in on little cat feet, its early symptoms masked by the exhaustion and physical decline. Everyone, including D'Angelo himself, tragically blamed on his very public struggle and excesses. Friends say he carried immense guilt, a crushing self-blame. God gave me perfect pitch, and I gave the world a thirst trap. I got to get it right this time. The perfect, in his agonizing quest, had truly become the enemy of done. Now the brief return, then out of nowhere, a flicker of hope. December 2014. Black Messiah drops with zero warning. A midnight email, a digital boom, and suddenly the music world collectively gasped. It wasn't just another great album. It was a triumph, critically acclaimed return that once again won him a Grammy for Best R&B Album. But the man who once prowled stage like a caged electric lion commanding every inch of space now stood somewhat reservedly behind the keyboards, eyes darting, his body wrapped in leather, perhaps against the chill of the spotlight he'd come to dread. It was a different D'Angelo, visibly more guarded. Tour rehearsals for Black Messiah often felt like creative sessions and more like group therapy. Bandmates observed him crying between takes of Really Love, muttering, "I'm still here," like a desperate mantra, a prayer to himself and to the universe. Fans, breathing a collective sigh of relief, exhaled. His back, crisis over. The wilderness was behind him, or so they thought, except pancreatic cancer, that silent, relentless predator, doesn't read reviews. It doesn't care about Grammys or comeback stories. Dates began to get canceled unexpectedly. His weight fell off faster than it had gone, and the whispers started again, this time far more ominous. Still through it all, he kept writing, kept chasing that elusive, perfect chord that he believed would finally forgive him for Untitled, for the perceived artistic compromise he felt he had made. The public saw a return. He likely felt the clock ticking, a desperate race against an invisible foe. Now the final days. May 2025, the Roots Picnic, our iconic festival, announces a headline slot, D'Angelo. Twitter erupts. The anticipation is palpable. A collective surge of excitement that he's not only back, but ready to reclaim his throne on a major stage. But just 2 short weeks later, a tense, gut-wrenching statement. Due to complications from recent surgery, D'Angelo will not perform. The air went out of the room. No one said the C word yet, not publicly, but the dread was a heavy blanket. Close friends described a man in his final months, still utterly consumed by music. They recalled him looping Donny Hathaway's live sessions, humming intricate alto lines, refusing morphine until the bridge of a new song, a final song perhaps, was exactly right in his mind. Now, even in the grips of unimaginable pain, the music was his sanctuary, his mission. Now, in September, he checked into a New York hospital under an alias, seeking a final thought of privacy from the world that had both adored and misunderstood him. On October 14, 2025, with his family gathered around, their voices rising in the familiar, comforting harmonies of Precious Lord, a gospel hymn rooted in the very tradition that shaped him. He exhaled for one last time. The news hit the world like a muted snare, soft, blunt, and final. A quiet end for a man who often sought quiet, even amidst the loudest applause. Now, if you're hearing this story for the first time, if Dangelo's legacy feels as profound to you as it does to me, then do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, because legends deserve more than just a fleeting headline, and we've got so many more truths to unpack right after this. Now, why D'Angelo matters? 3 albums. Think about that for a second. Just 3. Brown Sugar, Voodoo, Black Messiah. That's it. No greater hits filler, no shameless remix albums, no endless streams of singles designed for algorithm consumption. Just 28 profoundly impactful songs that collectively rewrote the rhythm and soul of an entire genre. Every modern R&B singer you hear, from the intrinsic vocals runs of her to the ginger-bending grooves of Anderson .Paak, the introspective depth of Frank Ocean, and the cool elegance of Solange, lifts, phrasing, harmonic ideas, and rhythmic structures he first minted back in 1995. Now, he proved unequivocally that you could sell platinum albums, win Grammys, and command respect without ever selling your soul, without compromising your artistic integrity for commercial appeal. He then, perhaps tragically, paid the ultimate price for believing the world would care more about the notes, the deep soulful meaning, than the flesh carrying them. Now, pancreatic cancer took him quickly, yes, but in a strange, almost cruel twist of fate, it also gave him the out he kept praying for: a quiet, dignified exit without spectacle, the relentless scrutiny, and superficial adoration he never truly wanted. He left us with a body of work that is simultaneously timeless and futuristic, a testament to uncompromising artistry. My conclusion. So what really happened to D'Angelo? In the end, perhaps it's the same thing that happens to every genius who mistakes self-worth for public applause. The spotlight, however coveted, eventually scorches. The silence, however isolating, eventually comforts. And the body, that temporary vessel, eventually calls in its debt. He spent his last month, even in pain, chasing the perfect chord, a final redemption harmony he hoped would forgive him for the night he bared skin instead of soul. Maybe he found it in those final humming moments. Maybe he didn't. But what he undeniably left us is something far simpler, yet infinitely more profound. A powerful reminder that true greatness isn't measured in a sheer output or commercial metrics, but in unwavering honesty, in the fearless pursuit of an authentic, uncompromised artistic vision. Now, the next time Untitled comes on, don't just listen. Close your eyes. Let that butter smooth falsetto crawl inside your ribs. Let the intrinsic instrumental wash over you. And remember the quiet kid at the Apollo, the preacher's son who just wanted to play. Remember Michael Eugene Archer, the man behind the myth. Rest easy, Michael. We finally heard the song behind the silence, and it was, as always, beautiful. Be blessed, y'all.